It gives me enormous joy for me to come to school than any other place for various reasons. A, I am a granddaughter of a school teacher. B, I am a daughter of a professor. C, I am the daughter-in-law of a school teacher. D, I myself am a teacher. I used to teach computer science in Christ University, and later I became so irregular than my own students. Then I said I will come on a management than a teacher because of my hectic schedules. Children give me enormous joy because they are innocent. And this is the first time I am addressing any school in Bombay. I have not addressed any school in Bombay. I have only come to Bombay for meetings, never to a school. So when there was an urgent meeting came down today evening, I have a 7 o'clock meeting, then I thought, why can't I come little early? Anyway, I waste half a day in Bangalore traffic reaching airport. I rather leave at 5 in the morning, reach Bombay at 8:30 so that I can have a session with the students, and then I opted for this. I'll tell you a small story. I am a grandmother of 2 grandkids. Like today's how grandkids are there, they are like that, normal. Okay, that means more talking and less listening. And my granddaughter's name is Krishna, and she told me they live in London. One day I told her to eat banana fruit. You know, we India consider it's a good fruit. Eat. And then she said me, Ajji, give me she calls me Ajji, like any Kannada grandmother is called or Maharashtrian grandmother is called. She said, Ajji, give me a set of reasons why one should eat banana, a 5 years kid. Okay? I said, okay, I will tell you a story, and then you feel like eating, you eat. I said, there was a rishi by the name Durvasa. I'm sure most of you know. Durvasa is a fellow, wherever he goes, he gives shapa, he curses. He gets so upset so fast. So there was a rishi by the Durvasa who was a very short-tempered fellow. Whenever he used to go to anybody's place, they used to get scared of him. Why this fellow has come, let him go as early as possible. I'm sure when you are not a nice person, nobody welcomes you. One day his wife told him, look, people, when you go, people run away. Whereas I've stayed with you for such a long time. Don't you think I deserve a boon or a special gift? First he was very upset. Then he said, okay, fine, I'll give you a special gift. What do you want? She said, I want a fruit which is not grown in Devaloka or up above heaven, which is grown on the earth. Yet it should be used to worship God. B, it should flower once a year and it should not have any seeds. C, all parts of that tree should be used in cooking. D, it should flower, it should give fruits only once in a year, and the fruit should be not messy kind, not like a mango or apple. And such fruit, without giving that to God, the puja will be incomplete. He said, okay. He made a tree and gave the fruit to the God, and then he called that, her name was Kadali, so he called that fruit the Kadali Phala. Kadali in Sanskrit became banana in English later. So whatever banana tree you see, that is the intelligence of a woman who told her husband the kind of fruit which is easy to eat, whose leaves are used for eating, whose bark is in the stem is used in cooking, whose flower is used in the cooking, which flowers once a year, and there are no seeds. So I told, it's such a great fruit on the earth. If you don't want to eat Krishna, you don't have to eat. But only learned people eat this one. Suddenly Krishna became upset. No, I want to be a learned person, and took the banana and ate. What I'm telling you is, every generation, it's really wrong to tell that our generation has a lot more stress. That is totally wrong. Parents, please remove it from your head in case you have such things. I was in Egypt about 15 years back. Then I took on Egyptology. That is a person who knows how to read hieroglyphy, who knows more about Egyptian history, and went to one place which is 7,000 years old, and there I saw the pyramid. Inside the pyramid there was hieroglyphy, so I asked that fellow, what it is written here, you tell me. This fellow told me, the builder of Egypt pyramid have written about next generation. Next generation doesn't respect time, doesn't respect money, doesn't respect elders, they have less common sense, they are less hardworking, I really do not know how they will survive. Suddenly I felt like, my parents talking to me like that. Every generation feels next generation is less than ours. We are very hardworking, we talk. No, that is really not true. Every generation has their own plus and minus. Some totally same. Any mathematics teacher or any students who love mathematics will appreciate this. What is 1 by 2? Half. 1 by 2 is 2 by 4. It is also equal to 3 by 6. It's also equal to 4 by 8. It's also equal to 16 by 32. The moment I say 1 by 2 and 16 by 32, 16 is a huge number, 1 is small, but the ratio remains the same. And that is the way every generation has their own plus, minus, their own strengths. Okay, their own stress. In olden days, how parents were worried, I know. I have seen my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother and me, and my daughter, 6, 7 generations I have seen. They were always worried about disease because there was no antibiotic in those days. If the child gets fever, the mother would have been panicked. Today you go to a pediatrician. In those days it was not there. Next generation I have seen there is no connectivity. Coming to Bombay is once in lifetime, particularly from people from Karnataka. Every generation undergoes a different stress, but they do undergo stress. Now coming to this topic, they told me that you have to address parents. I said I wanted to address students actually, but if parents are interested, I can. But students may get bored. I want to tell something to students and then I will address parents. Students, you should understand one thing. When you are in school, somebody looks after you. Your teacher, your parents look after you. They will tell you some good words and you really get bored. When they start sermon, your mind goes away somewhere. Because I was also a student once upon a time. Too many things someone tells you, then you won't like it, actually. You won't like it. And too many things we should not tell also. If we want to tell parents, you should always tell in the form of a story. Never tell directly, you should be hardworking. Always tell a story because that is more effective. As a child, you may not like it. But please remember, people who care for you only will tell. Third person will not tell. In our hierarchy, in Indian tradition, we say first Matru Devo Bhava because mother is the one who is closest to you. She will tell. Then it's a father, Pitru Devo Bhava. And third one is Acharya Devo Bhava. Acharya means not Pandit or Bhadji. Acharya means teacher who teaches you. Teacher cares for you. Please remember, a good teacher cares for you. And later, in college life, no teacher tells you. Because it doesn't matter you pass or fail. As a college teacher, I knew I have to go complete my syllabus and I will get my salary, I will come back. But in school it won't happen because this is the impressive years you are undergoing from LKG to 10th standard here. Good 14 years, up to ISC if you go, good 14 years of your life. There are always teachers and they are third in the hierarchy who care for you. Please remember, someone cares for you, have the authority to scold you also. And they tell in the right way, please don't underestimate your parents and your teachers. It's your duty to understand what they are telling, for what reason they are telling. And you have to actually accept it, and later it will pay its price later part of your life. What you don't learn now will never be learnt later. It is always false ideas. When I grow big, I will do. I don't know how many of you have read my book, The Story of Portado. I don't know the day. I won't remember which book I read the day I stopped drinking milk. Somewhere I know. I want to give that incident. It's 1:30 up to 2 I will finish. Then the remaining time I will give for question answers. Portado, it's a real life story. Portado was my classmate. He was reasonably bright, maybe very bright, I suppose. Never came to school, never came to college. I was in engineering college. He used to stay, he was from Goa. He used to come, he was in the hostel and he never used to come to college. Our college was 7 to 11, he will come around 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Earliest mean 9 o'clock. And he will sit there, attend 2 classes. After that, afternoon he will come for the lab, etc. End of the year, 1 month he will get up early and he will study. And there is a method in college. You take question papers, April and October. Whatever comes in October will never come in April. Okay? I'm sure in the school also you have. Midterm will never come to final. Okay? So eliminate these question answers and then make a approximate question paper and study that, and he used to get a first class. He did all 4 years like this. Once I asked Potato, why you are such a bright person? You don't come to class. If you come regularly, you can get distinction. You can get a rank. He said, Sudha, you do not know. In life, it is not the education. It is the connection it really works. And we have to build a lot of connections. When you are young, it helps you. I came from a middle class family. My father was a doctor, a gynecologist. I never understood this connection, all those things. Then he said, my father was in military. We were in Calcutta. There was a club, which we have never seen in our real life. So we thought maybe he's a big man, and it is beyond our, hamara bas ka baat nahi, I felt. So it's something new. Years passed. In 1972, I finished my engineering, so was Potato, and I didn't meet him for a long time. After 35 years, I think 2008 or 9, I had been to Dubai to deliver a lecture. And when the lecture was over, I saw somebody waiting for. And then he said, ma'am, I was waiting for you. I was surprised, a place like Dubai, who will wait for me? Then he said, I am Potato. I could not recognize, because in 30-40 years, people put on weight, your hair will be grey. All those physical changes will happen. I said, Potato, I would not have recognized. I was very happy. I told him, let us sit down and talk. He said, no, I just wanted to tell you one word to you. So I was waiting. I said, what happened? He said, do you remember in college I used to bunk class? I said, of course I remember you. Potato means bunking class. He said, I used to bunk class and I joined a job, and because in those days, the moment you have BE, you used to get job in my time. And my bosses came to know that, my subordinates came to know that I don't have knowledge. Getting a first class marks are different than knowledge. Please remember, parents, your children should be in the pursuit of knowledge than the marks. Though it's a competitive examination, I agree. It is a competitive world. Competition is 1,000 times or 10,000 times more than what time I had. But with all those things, the knowledge which always helps you than your marks in real life. So he said, I got marks, but I did not have knowledge. Once the subordinates know that you don't have knowledge, they don't respect you. Once the boss knows you don't have knowledge, then he wants a reason to kick you out. I was kicked out from one job, then I took a second job, and I was so much used to getting up 9 in the morning, I'll go late to the office. I was kicked out there also. Over a period of time, I couldn't get job anywhere. And now I have a job as a manager job or a smaller job in Dubai. And I said, what about your family? He said, I have 2 daughters. I left them in Chennai to study. I said, what? He said, yes, I want they should study well. They should not become like me. I just waited for you to tell Sudha one thing. When we were young, I used to make fun of you. He used to tell me, you are like a running race horse, because the horse will see neither left nor right, it runs. So anyway, you always were academic, and we used to make fun of you. Today, when we called you nerd, and I thought I was very smart, today I feel you are successful, and I wasted my life. I just wanted to tell you, if you don't discipline when you are school or in college, you pay a heavy price in later part of your life.